Starting in reclined Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Start to inhale deeply. Feel your belly fill up. And then as you exhale through your mouth, feel your belly come back down. Take a few really deep breaths here, inhaling completely and exhaling completely. Settle into your space. Soften your eyes, your jaw, and try to relax through your hips. Although if you're doing this yoga class, your hips are probably the problem. So we're going to gently open up the hips and end with a couple of longer holds. But this will be a pretty gentle class. Bring your knees together and into your chest. Give yourself a little massage, roll around on your spine. And then hug your knees into your chest. Extend your right leg up, work the hamstring a little bit, and then slowly you're going to release the right leg all the way down to the mat. Hug the left knee, roll out your ankles, and then draw some big circles with your left knee. Kind of juice up, get a little blood into the hip area. And then pull your left knee so your thigh bone is on the outside of your ribs. And we'll use your right hand to draw your knee up over your body. Using your right hand to draw your knee down, cactus out your left hand or left arm with your palm up. I'm going to show you if you need a little support under your knee, you can use a block. Whichever height. So you can, just gives you a little support. If you don't need it, just keep your hand on the outside of your thigh and gently pull down towards the floor. Your left arm is extended and the left shoulder is on the mat. So you don't want to twist so deeply that the shoulder comes off the mat. You can also gaze towards the left hand or bring your chin towards your left hand. Then come back to center by bringing your left knee first, and then we're going to go to the outside. So I'm going to use a block here. Again, low setting or high setting, we're just going to open out to the side, left knee out to the side. Same cactus on the right arm, palm up. Come back to center. Left knee the chest, and then the right knee, and we'll start just like we did on the other side. Roll out the lower back. And hug the knees into the chest. Extend the left leg this time. Right hand on right knee, left hand behind your calf, pulling towards you just to stretch your hamstring gently before lowering down. Hug the left knee and do those circles again, all the way around. All the way around that ball and socket hip joint. And then hugging the right knee on the outside of the right thigh bone. And we'll do the supine twist again. You can add the block on this side. Right palm up, keeping the right shoulder on the mat. And the gaze can be towards the right hand. If that does bug your neck, don't feel like you have to do that. You can keep your neck in neutral position. Breathe into the tension that you're feeling. It should be all along the right side body, right from the hip. And if your hips are tight, mine are tight right now, I really feel it in the glutes. There's 20 muscles that make up our hips. So I think all 20 of mine are tight. Hug the knee into the chest, and then we'll bring it open to the side, to the right. You can set the block on the low side like I have, or you bring it up a little bit on the higher side. And bring it back to your chest, both knees into the chest. Roll again on the spine. And then we're going to come up into a seated position. So come on up. I'm going to elevate my tailbone by putting a blanket under my hips. You can use the block if you want even more length. And right now we're going to cross the left shin on top of the right. Sit up nice and tall to start. And then walk your hands out in front of you as far as it's comfortable and drop your chin to your chest. This is Sukhasana, or easy pose. Couple breaths here, and then we'll switch legs and do the same thing. All right, walk the hands back up. We're going to switch it. Right shin in front of the left, and it's right in front of the shin, so it's not crossing your legs. And then extend the arms out, folding forward. If you have any kind of imbalances or one side that's tighter than the other, you're going to feel it in this posture. And then go ahead and walk the hands back up. We're going to come into a version of tabletop. I'm going to move my props out of the way, where your knees are together and your hands are as wide as the mat. Keep your toes tucked, and we'll start by just moving the hips from side to side. You can let the head fall heavy. It's one of my favorite warming up postures here. This is part of Chakravakasana. And if you have a tight spot, hang out there for a moment. Just let it sink in a little bit as you hold that. And then when you're ready, we'll come all the way around into a circle. So you'll bring the hips to the sides and then back to the heels and stir the pot, or then make these big circles. It's kind of an organic movement, just flow here. Finding those tight spots, finding those areas that need a little bit more attention. Get your shoulders, your neck, just kind of a free flow. And now we're going to move into an aligned tabletop. Knees are underneath your hips. Inhaling to cow pose, chin up, tailbone high. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest. Inhale, peel the chest through the gateway of your shoulders. And exhale, round the back, chin to chest. A few more times, just getting a little bit deeper every time you come into each part. Cow, and now into cat. All right, from here, neutral spine, we're going to come into spinal alignment. So right arm forward, left arm back, squeeze it in. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, hug in, knee to elbow. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Extend one more time and then bring your right hand down. Bring your right or your left knee behind your right and fan out your feet. Then walk it back. So child's pose meets cow face. Should feel a nice gentle tug on both sides of your hips in this posture. One more big breath. And then come back up, tabletop, and we'll do spinal alignment on the other side. So left arm forward, right leg back. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Elbow to knee. Lengthen. Elbow to knee, last one there. Inhale, lengthen, then bring the left hand down. Oop, I'm doing one more. Bring the left hand down You're going to cross the legs. You can move your knees more in the center. Fan out your feet. So as you walk it back, your hips are just above the heels. If you're more flexible, you can bring them all the way down to the floor. But just hovering off the ground on this first one is fine. A couple more breaths here. And then we're going to come up to a position just like we were with our knees together and the hands as wide as the mat. I'm going to do half pigeon reaches. So reach your left leg up and over, reach the arms forward. So it's kind of like half pigeon, but not quite as intense. We'll hold this first one. Then bring the knees back together. Now the right one comes up behind. Swing it to the side. Maybe your right hand comes more to the side and reach the fingertips forward. And come back, knees together. Left leg up and over, maybe a little bit more, sinking down a little bit deeper. Back to center. Right leg up and over a little bit more, big reach. And come back to center. All right, back in the tabletop, and we're going to come into down dog. So set your hands, spread your fingers nice and wide. Your hands are about shoulder width distance. Pedal it out. I like to keep my feet a little bit wider than my hips. Really pushing the floor away, drawing your shoulder blades back and down so they're not squeezing up by your ears. They're drawn away. Shake the head, no tension in your neck. And your right leg high. And then bend that knee, open the hip. Make sure you're pushing into the floor equally. You're not collapsing through the left shoulder. And then draw some circles again with the knee, maybe kissing the left knee. Then hold the open position. Slowly take a giant step on the outside of your right pinky. Scooch the foot forward so the knee is behind your ankle. All right, then go ahead and bring your left knee to the mat. Bring your left forearm to the mat, and then press into your right knee as you twist slightly. All right, so you're pushing the knee away from you, more the thigh than the knee, and make sure that the foot of your right foot stays rooted down through the four corners. So I don't want you coming onto the edge of your right foot. Now bring both forearms to the mat and they're parallel. Drop your head. This is just lizard pose. Pay attention to the quality of your breath. Keep breathing deeply in and out. Then go ahead and come back up to the hands. Walk your foot on the inside. We're going to come into walk all the way around to wide leg forward fold. So as you turn to the side, you're folding forward, your feet are parallel, and you're just pressing into the floor. Opening up through the hamstrings. It's more like a ragdoll pose here, just letting the weight of your upper body lengthen the hamstrings. Walk your hands out under your shoulders, and we'll come into Skandasana right. You can stay up higher on the right knee if that feels better, and then walk your hands out. So again, you can stay high up or you can come all the way down. Just depends on the health of your knees. Walk the hands back in. Right hand, right tricep presses against your right thigh. Left arm goes high. Open through the left side body. And then back down. We'll shift all the way back to that wide leg fold for a moment. And then transition into Skandasana on the other side. So left knee's bent, stay up high, your knees, and then walk it out. It helps you get into your hamstring a little bit more if you flex your right leg here, right foot. And back to Prasarita Padasana, wide leg forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back, walk it around to low lunge. And then find your way back to downward facing dog, and we'll repeat this on the left side. So inhale the left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip, roll out, big hip circles. And then giant step on the outside of your left foot. Scooch the knee behind the ankle or scooch the foot forward. Come onto your right forearm and then bring your left hand to the inner thigh by your knee, gently pressing open to find that stretch in your hip area. Just make sure again that you stay rooted down through your left foot. Don't come onto the edge of it. So if you think about your foot having 4 corners, you're pressing down through the 4 corners. Then moving into full lizard, come onto your forearms and drop your head and neck and relax. Relax your eyes and your jaw. Couple more breaths here. And then go ahead and come back up to your hands, step it back. And then come all the way around again, wide leg forward fold. So the feet are parallel. This time maybe grab the outsides of your ankles or the outsides of your feet and fold forward. Move your feet back. We're going to come into frog. So you can fold over your mat like I am. Just give yourself a little more cushion. Bring the knees apart as far as you can. Find that edge. And then your knees and your ankles are parallel and the feet are flexed. You can come to your elbows. You can come to a block. Or you can come all the way down to your chest. Again, notice the quality of your breath. Nice inhales, smooth exhales, equaling the inhale and the exhale in time. Whenever things get difficult in your postures in yoga and also in life, it teaches you how to breathe. When you find yourself with a choppy, erratic breath, either from a difficult posture or a difficult situation, you can calm yourself down by deeply breathing. A few more deep breaths here. And walk the hands all the way back. We're going to come back into that wide leg forward fold to transition here. Again, you can grab the outsides of the feet. And walk the hands under the shoulders. Inhale. Exhaling all the way around, back to the front. Step it back to downward facing dog. And we're going to do half pigeon on both sides, and we're going to hold that 3 minutes aside. So bring your right leg high, right knee, right wrist. Align your left leg parallel to the side of the mat. Now, if your hips are high, or that right hip is high, put a block or a blanket under there. So you want your hips square. Then you can come to your elbows, a block, or all the way down. So I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes here. Settle in, breathing deeply. These longer holds are more like a yin practice. And the purpose of a yin yoga practice is to get into the connective tissue, the fascia. So a lot of times we're tight, not because of our muscles, but because our fascia, that connective tissue, is really tight. So let's explore that here, holding this for 3 minutes. And whenever things get a little bit difficult, just find that focus, that attention on your breath. All right, smooth out the breath and then relax any tension in your eyes and your jaw. And just settle here. For the remainder of your 3 minutes. Come up to your hands, step it back into downward dog, and just take a breath or two here. It's kind of home base in yoga, staying in your downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, we'll do the left side by bringing the left leg high, left knee, left wrist. All right, lining it up, right leg's parallel to the mat, point the toes so the toes are facing straight. And we'll do our 3 minutes on this side. So again, you'll come to the elbows or a block. Place a block underneath your left hip if it's much higher than your right, or a blanket, and settle in for your 3 minutes in half pigeon. All right, nice work. Go ahead and come up to your hands. Tuck the toes under one last time in downward facing dog. And one more finishing asana. We're going to come into a wide-kneed child's pose and stay there as long as you'd like. Extend the arms forward, maybe the palms up. A few deep breaths here. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me. Make sure you check out some of my other videos and make sure that you like my YouTube channel. That would be really helpful. Namaste.